call to order the April meeting of the Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners. And could you start us, please, with the roll call, Ken?
Kathleen Mills. Here. Ellen Rodkey. Here. Israel Herrera.
Here.
Jim Whitlatch.
Here.
Okay, so we are all here for this meeting. And then first up, we have our consent calendar, so minutes and claims and non-reverting budget items, business reports, so no surplus this time, just a few other smaller partnership agreements and contracts that we will take all as one motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, and all those in favor, roll call vote?
Kathleen Mills.
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera.
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, motion unanimously carried. And then we don't have any public hearings appearances in section B, so we'll move on to section C in other business, and Megan Stark will tell us about price change for TLRC personal trainers.
Hello there. Megan Stark, Membership Coordinator for the Twin Lakes Recreation Center, seeking approval for the price change for the contract that we set up with our personal trainers. Kind of the overall largest item is we used to have the clients pay for the sessions through the facility, and then the facility would turn around and pay the personal trainers, and now we are going to have all of that set up through the personal trainer directly instead.
And what's the reason or reasons for, is it just a lot smoother to have them do it themselves?
Yeah.
Or?
So if we look at the profit margin, if we look at last year, it was only about 19%, so it's not a large revenue generator for the facility. And so in 2023, the revenue that we brought in was actually $26,860, but what went right back out in payroll to the trainers was $21,840. So we only kept about $5,000. And then if we switch over to our new way where the trainers will actually pay rent, we will still vet them and make sure that they have the education, all of their certification that they're supposed to have, and their insurance, then it would be a little bit different. We would actually have brought in $6,000. So already an increase and way, way less staff time going into it for tracking all of the sessions, payroll, et cetera.
So when under the way it's been currently done, where they are employees or independent contractors?
They are set up as contractual employees through the city. So this will give them.
We did withholding and all that kind of stuff on
Yes.
tax. But now they will not be, they'll be pure independent contractors.
Correct. So they were set up as independent contractors originally. They are now, and they will stay that way, but they weren't actually given the ability to set their own prices or anything like that. So they will still do the same. Currently, they do a 1099, and they will still do that. I think the form technically changed to a different number.
So you didn't it's probably a confusing question, which is fine, but you didn't withhold, you didn't do payroll taxes for them. They were all independent contractors.
They had to. I'm sorry.
Are any of the trainers also employees of the city?
One, me.
Okay, and that all works out? You figured out how to navigate all that and everything?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Have any of the other trainers expressed like apprehensions about changing the way it's set up, or do you know? Or
No, so when I talked to them initially just to see what their thoughts were on it as well, because I didn't want it to just be from a financial standpoint. I wanted to make sure that it worked for them. They were actually quite excited because it does give them the ability to set their own prices. So right now we might have someone that has 30 years experience, has kept up on all their education, background, everything like that, and they get paid the exact same as a brand new trainer that maybe doesn't have any clients even yet. So that would allow them to set their own price point. They can do promotions now. So like for me, I've had a client that has been with me for 13 years and they still pay the exact same rates. There's no kind of frequent flyer discount, if you will, but that'll allow me to do that.
I would assume this lines us up with what other gyms do in their relationships with personal trainers.
Yes, typically you either see them pay rent, which is the new model that we're going to, and then they set all of their own pricing, track everything, carry their own insurance, or they are considered employees of the facility where they don't have any of those. And we were kind of doing a hybrid, so this just clears that up.
Into the industry standard.
Yes.
All right. Other questions?
How many personal trainers? Are
We
there?
currently have 5. And right now, just looking at their availability, we actually have seen our personal training grow, and so we may have 6 in this year. So we'll just have to see.
The personal trainers will be able to handle their own prices.
Yes. Yep, so
Okay.
they'll set all their own prices.
The things under the Twin Lakes administration, right?
Yes, because currently we set the prices and everybody has the same.
New program guide reflect that?
I left it very open,
Awesome.
just in case it was turned down, and then open that if it did, then we could make those changes on May 1.
That's great. I received it recently, but I haven't looked through it every page
Yes,
yet.
it says, I believe, to check our website for
Yeah.
the pricing and to read the bios of the trainers.
Good. All right. Well, I will move to approve the price change for TLRC personal training program.
Second?
Okay, and a roll call vote. All those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera, Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
And then in C2, Jason Sims will tell us about the clubhouse rental price change at Cascades.
Hello, Jason Sims, Golf Facilities Manager. Staff recommends approval of an amendment to the 2024 price schedule. Cascades Clubhouse Banquet Room per day with golf outing event. What that means is if we're doing a shotgun event for an outside company, like a scramble or something like that, it's currently $125. I would like to change it to $150. Due to the publications already, we changed to $150. It was my understanding that I had a price range in the price guide. It's not, so it's currently set at $125. I would just like for it to get to $150. And to reflect that, that's a 2-hour rate is what that comes down to, because we charge $75 per hour for a normal rental.
Are there a lot of golf outing rentals or?
We have 75 outing/events on the schedule for 2024.
Wow.
Whether they have the option to use that room, we give them that option. They can use it or decline it. But we break the rate down that way because it's normally $500 for the day for an outside agency. So
Okay,
Idea that we had so many. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
okay.
When was the last time that the price was changed?
this price deck structure was in place when we built the building in 2019. Megan may be able to answer. Was there a price change recently? Going from 19 previously or before or after the event? Because Megan used to run the banquet room for us before we took it over. Okay.
The only fee changed during,
Yeah, I'm leaving the hourly rate at 75 and the all-day rate at 500. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
as if there was a change, very recent change for the 125. So it has been like 5 years ago that
Yeah.
there wasn't any change.
I'll move to approve the price change for the banquet room at Cascades Golf Course.
Second.
Okay, and a roll call vote of all those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Motion carried. And then C3, Kevin Terrell will tell us about the contract with Chef for Hire for Banneker Center lunches.
Hello, everyone. Kevin Terrell, the Program and Facility Coordinator for the Banneker Community Center. For this first one, the staff recommends approval of a service agreement with Chef for Hire Incorporated for the 2024 Banneker Summer Camp Program. Banneker Community Center wishes to enter a contract with Chef for Hire Incorporated in support of the summer program, camp summer program. This Indianapolis-based company provides vended and prepackaged meals that meet all of the USDA Summer Food Service Program requirements for approximately 80 to 100 participants daily during the Banneker Summer Camp program. These meals are scheduled and delivered twice per week. And as part of the USDA Summer Food Service Program, Banneker is reimbursed for every meal that is served. And our staff, meaning me, orders meals from Chef for Hire in accordance to these participation numbers. This is to reduce the amount of excess meals delivered that cannot be reimbursed through the USDA. We've worked with Chef for Hire Incorporated for many years and would like to do so again in 2024. The funding for this comes out of the yet-to-be-created non-reverting grant line for USDA of 2024. And the approximate cost per meal, breakfast from Chef for Hire costs $3.30 per meal, lunch costs $4.29 per meal. And I can answer any questions.
You know, we've contracted with them for quite a while. Yeah.
Several years. And we'll, our reimbursement from the state is actually a little bit more than they're charging us, so that works out well.
Hear back on the grant for from the USDA?
Well, shortly. We have the application for everything is due on April 30th. We just had our final training for that today, so I anticipate no problems.
Yeah, you always do a really great job with that. So.
Do they like the food?
You know what? Pretty much they do. I'm not going to say every child likes every meal because there's no way to possibly to do that. But I was pretty happy with their food quality last year. I've already got the menu for 2024. I see no problems.
Okay. All right. I'll move to approve the contract with Chef for Hire for Banneker Center lunches.
Second?
And a roll call vote of all those in favor?
Kathleen Mills.
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera.
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. And then Kevin will stay with us for C4, which is the partnership agreement with Youth Sports Outreach for Banneker basketball.
Yep, I'm excited about this one. The staff recommends that Banneker Community Center enters a partnership agreement with Youth Sports Outreach, which is a student group at Indiana University, to provide 4 nights of a free basketball camp for area teens in the 6th through the 8th grade, and to also provide weekly sports activities for our 2024 Banneker summer campers. There is no transfer of funds with this agreement. It's all on a volunteer basis from them. They are a group of IU students who provide free lessons for area youth groups in a variety of different sports. We believe there will be a great partner for our free basketball camp ongoing this spring and for a wide array of different sports lessons for the participants in our upcoming Banneker camp.
Is Youth Sports Outreach national organization, or is it just something that they started here at?
No, it's throughout the Midwest, I believe. I don't know if it's went national yet, but they have over 100 students at IU that have joined with that. And I was exposed to this group through the Bloomington After School Network and the fact that Amy Shrake runs at Allison Jukebox, and she connected us with Charlie Broden, who's their chapter president. And we talked and thought it would be a great idea.
And so this will be the first year we've used them, is that right?
Correct.
And I noticed that the person that we contact is in South Bend, which
That's his home address. He's an IU student.
Yeah. Do they have any kind of advisor through IU, or is it all a student-run organization?
This is all student ran through. I think they have some people in the health and physical education and recreation part of it, but I don't think they have any professors or any advisors in that regard.
Do we have to do any kind of background checks or anything for these people since they're going to be working with kids? these
Not to
folks?
my knowledge, because we'll always have staff and everything there with them. They're basically providing the equipment and the expertise and the enthusiasm to do the different sports. I was particularly excited. The kids at camp will get to do soccer, which is something we didn't have the capacity to do. Tennis, which is something that our campers probably don't have exposure to, because they're going to provide the lessons, the tennis rackets, the tennis balls, all those things.
Great.
All be done. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
No pickleball. No.
We probably have some people that might be willing to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it sounds like a great program. Thanks, Kevin. I'll move to approve the partnership agreement with Youth Sports Outreach for the Banneker basketball program.
Second?
Okay, and a roll call vote of all those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera, Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
motion carried. Thank you, Kevin. And then, let's see, next up in C5 is a partnership agreement with Get Out Bloomington for escape room event. This is the Willy Wonka, I believe.
Yes. We are recommending a partnership with, first of all, Bill Ream, Community Events Coordinator. We're recommending a partnership with Get Out Bloomington, which is formerly known as the Code and Key Escape Rooms. It was sold within the last year since the last event. And we will do a 50-50 revenue split with them once the major expenses are taken care of, and that will come out of the community events budget lines, and it's not to exceed $2,800. As I said, we will be offering the Escape from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, Wonky Willy's Chocolate Factory. Got to get my own wording there, and it is based on Willy Wonka. But that is copyrighted still, so we can't use his image or name. So I just flipped it around. This is the 5th year for this type of partnership, and there are still some folks with Get Out Bloomington, used to be Code and Key, who have worked with us since the beginning. Some of their part-time staff, and especially their puzzle master, whatever you want to call him. He makes all the puzzles for us. So we're working real closely with him, and we will be running this event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd, and Saturday and Sunday, June 7th and 8th. The Fridays are in the evenings, and the Saturdays and Sundays are all day, and we're running every 20 minutes. So we have a tremendous amount of time slots. We have I think 85 or something like that. But we've been if we haven't sold out the last 3 years, we've been really close. And the new owners are all very enthusiastic and we wanted to try it every 20 minutes instead of every half hour. So we're looking forward to working with them again. And we've actually got some stuff already made, and he just sent me a big list of puzzles and things I have to get printed. So it's coming together. We're just looking forward to getting it going. We're just looking for final approval.
Minutes to get out, though?
No, they start every 20 minutes.
Oh, they start every...
You have
okay.
you have about an hour. It's not an exact time like an escape room. You don't get locked in or anything. It's in the pavilion at Switchyard. Okay. It's just we start them, and then you can.
Okay.
This particular way it's set up, the teams can pass each other. It doesn't matter. It's kind of a static thing that they just look at and do things, and then they go on to the next one.
Okay. I was speaking as a person who's failed to get out of 5 escape
No, you haven't.
in
You have
5
at least an
different
hour.
cities, but yeah.
We're really flexible, and the guy that's making the puzzles for me, he's tested it a little bit. He said it took his folks about 45 minutes to an hour to do it, so
Okay.
Shouldn't be too bad. And we usually run from 40 minutes to maybe an hour and 20, depending on if they've got small kids and stuff like that. Sometimes that takes a little longer.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
Maybe you need to have small kids in your group.
I do, so I can get out of the room. That probably would be
Give you more
benefit.
hints.
Yes.
All right. I will move to approve the partnership agreement with Get Out Bloomington for the escape room event.
And,
Second?
okay. All right, and a roll call vote of all those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Israel Herrera,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, thanks,
Thank you.
Bill. And then in C6, Keto will tell us about the partnership agreement with Bloomington Pickleball Club.
How are you doing today? Kido from Sports Division. Staff recommends approval of the 2024 partnership agreement with Bloomington Pickleball Club. The Bloomington Pickleball Club was established in October 2022 with a mission to promote recreational and competitive play while creating a positive and inclusive experience for all. The change from last year's partnership is the payment system. Instead of taking the percentage of registration, we simply agree to charge the court fees.
All right, any questions about this change of the partnership agreement?
This is the first agreement, or this is a renewal, or it's the first time that we have the partnership?
We had it last year, started last year. Last year, the payment system was instructions program, registration fees. We agreed to take 20% of their registration fees. And end of the year calculation wasn't easy. So we simply decided, let's go for the court fees.
Any other questions for Keto? No? Okay.
I'll move to approve the partnership agreement with the Bloomington Pickleball Club.
Second.
Okay, and a roll call vote, please.
Kathleen Mills.
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera. Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
All right, motion carried, thank you. And then C7 is the contract with Mother Nature for emerald ash borer treatment, Haskell Smith. Oh,
For
okay.
Haskell Smith, couldn't be here unexpectedly. Tim Street, Parks Director. Staff recommend approval of a contract with Mother Nature Landscaping for the treatment of 101 ash trees remaining in the city of Bloomington to continue to protect them from the emerald ash borer. The amount is not to exceed $19,800. This is funded through general fund dollars in urban forestry. For, more than a decade now, the city has been committed to preserving ash trees with the onset of EAB. This treatment cycle, there's a couple different treatment cycles that are staggered for trees in different locations so that they're treated every few years. This round was last treated in late 21, 22, and is kind of centered on Woodhill Drive, Tamaron Drive, East 7th, West 2nd, Alcott Boulevard, and some other areas in that Stan's neighborhood where we still have some mature ash trees. Overall, we do, of course, still have a few ash trees that reach a mature age and fail and we lose. But if you need an example of why we want to continue to preserve our ash trees, I just look no farther than Bryan Park. And some of the really great mature ash trees that are there that we certainly would have lost by now if not for this preservation.
So these 106, and you may not know, but these are all on city property.
Correct, yes, they're
Yeah,
either
so
in
when we
parks
say
or
100
as street trees.
Yeah, when we say 106 ash trees in Bloomington, there's 106 left on city property? or
There's
is that
more
just
than 106 left because the cycles are staggered. So this is one cycle that's
Okay.
treated every 2 to 3 years. And then I believe, so I think this is about half
Okay,
of what we have, but I would need Haskell here to verify the total number in our
Okay.
inventory, which, we could go in Tree Keeper and look that up pretty easily.
thank you.
Any other questions for Tim?
So I see, I didn't know this, I'm not an expert on trees, but that emerald ash border is the kind of a bee, like a beetle?
It's a beetle that eats, I believe, the cambium of the tree underneath the bark and kills it that way. It is an invasive beetle.
So the protection would be, this will affect also the insect, or what, kill them, or what kind of protection is this?
That is a good question. I must admit I am ignorant as to the specific method by which the injections protect against the emerald ash borer. I know Haskell would know that were he able to be here. And I apologize for that. Joanna, do you know?
Basically, they inject it into the vascular system of the tree, so anywhere that an emerald ash borer lands on the tree and tries to eat, it actually will poison it.
So it's always just to keep them away because I don't know, maybe the substance, the odor or something
No,
that.
it is a pesticide. It's a systemic insecticide. It's sort of like the reverse of chemotherapy.
So yeah, I'll repeat that for the microphone too. It is a systemic pesticide that does kill the emerald ash borer in the tree.
Yeah, thank you.
They use that because it's very contained. It's not like spraying it.
It's very targeted.
Yeah, it's,
Yes. Thank you, Joanna.
Despite this, we have had some trees being removed because even though
Sure,
they are
trees fail for other reasons too. And of course, as some of our ash trees are very old, they may reach end of lifespan naturally anyway, or fail in storm events or wind events. So we can't obviously preclude those events.
And here one more ignorant question. So this insect maybe would prefer these ash trees instead of the other ones. It's like the.
That's right, yep.
Okay. Just learning about trees and pesticides. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Tim?
I move to approve the contract with Mother Nature for emerald ash borer treatment.
Second?
Okay, and a roll call vote of all those in favor?
Kathleen Mills.
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Israel Herrera.
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, all right, motion's carried. And thank you, Tim. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you again here in a few minutes. But first in section D, then Leslie Brenson has the community events report on 2024 events.
Good afternoon, Leslie Grayson, General Manager of Recreation Services. I think this is the most time you've given me for this report, so I might no, I'm just kidding. I'll try not to go as fast as I normally do. Okay, all right, I think I can manage that. This is a report just for informational purposes to highlight events taking place within the Recreation Services area of the Recreation Division for 2024. We'll see if we can get the...
I think this is our first meeting since the eclipse. And so I just want to give a shout out to the community events department and the whole department because it was amazing. All the events were so cool. I met so many people and it was pretty spectacular. So kudos
Appreciate
to
it.
you
It was
guys.
definitely a team effort, but really excited to see how it played out. And I don't know that we could have asked for a much better day on Monday at Switchyard Park and a lot of the other parks too. I can also give you an update that we do now, Jim, have an external policy manual on the website with several of those policies we discussed last month as well. So that is up and live, and you can check those policies now.
I was in the park, I saw Leslie going this way and Bill going that way and Emily going this way. It's like, you guys were hustling.
We have a great team for sure.
Stop for the 4 minutes and
I
watch
did. I
the-
got a little
okay.
video. I was able to stop. I think most of us were able to enjoy it. It was probably one of the things I liked the most is that the crowd just was so enjoyable. Like everybody was there for the right purpose, had the right frame of mind. It was just, there was really very little stress to the day once we got things going. A few minor, lost kids or things of the sorts, but with that many people, you're bound to have, and they weren't lost for very long. Like parent turned his head and the kid went the other way kind of things. But overall, it was just a really enjoyable day. And I think we had at least, we counted at least 25 states represented. I'm sure there was many more, but amazing to see how far people traveled for that kind of experience. All right, awesome. Okay, let's see if we can get the...
You might have to click, but she can advance for you.
No. Okay, so we're gonna just quickly highlight some of the activities we have going on this year. Obviously, some have already taken place, such as Winter Palooza and Arctic Adventure. both happening in January and early February. We had 253 people attend Winter Palooza and 70 attend Arctic Adventure. Go ahead, Kim. Also moving through February and March, our adult indoor recess. This is the second time we've tried to do this 21 and over indoor event. We have an outdoor recess that we're also doing. Continues to grow and be super excited, and people really enjoy the experience to be kids again. Thanks to the Twin Lakes Rec Center for hosting us for that. Spring Break series had record numbers this year with over 260 people coming throughout the 3 days. Mad Paws, our doggy egg hunt, continues to be popular with 94 dogs and over 207 people that came out to the Switchyard Park Dog Park for that event. Go ahead. As you mentioned, the eclipse weekend, we couldn't go by without saying that. A picture of our staff and the crowd. We were able to put on 4-day weekend, 4 days of activities, games, music, crafts, you name it. About 8,000 people at Switchyard Park for the main event on the 4th, but we also were able to do a Lunar Links putt-putt, thanks to Jason, did a great job at the golf course, and Griffey hosted 2 different Eclipse paddle rentals that both sold out really quickly. Just an overall great weekend for us. Community gardens, I just heard today that we actually only have 1 plot left, so we have 260 plots available this year, and almost all, again, have been rented. We are also offering several garden programs, both spring, summer, and fall. New to my area is health and wellness, and this one slide does not do justice of what Shelby does within a full year, but here's a little bit of it. Fitness in the Park, 33 weeks of that, both winter and summer. Cooking and nutrition education classes. She handles all of our CPR, AED training for staff and the public. Starting new this year, a grant program called Walking with Ease, which is an evidence-based walking program for older individuals that has an education component as well as a walking program. Free monthly outer spatial wellness challenges, the GOAL program in partnership with IU. This year, we're going through the community health needs assessment process again, so they're in the middle of focus groups and gathering data about our community health needs. And then, of course, Get Outdoors Day, bike rodeos, All Kids Swim, and the Veterans 5K. Again, just a small snapshot of what Shelby does in a year. Farmers Market kicked off a couple weeks ago. We have 3 successful Saturdays. Already reached our last year's attendance in those 3 weekends, so off to a great start thanks to some nice weather. This is our 50th season in 2024. Really excited for both the Saturday and Tuesday market. We'll be offering different events this year, including the Youth Day at Market, which was young artists and growers. Last year was the first year for that. Super successful, glad to bring that back. Farm to Table event, a special 50th celebration at the market on May 25th. We're also bringing tomato tasting back and apple tasting as we did last year. This weekend, all 3 of these events are happening this weekend. Nature Sounds Friday night at Rogers Family Park, Children's Expo on Saturday at Switchyard Park, and the International Festival on Sunday on 4th Street between Grant and Dunn Streets. Looking forward to a great weekend of activities. In May, we have the 50 Plus Expo coming back. Strong and steady, has 93 booths this year. So we look forward to a great turnout there. New this year is a Kids to Park Day. It's a national day of celebration, getting kids outdoors to celebrate their parks. We'll be doing that at Lower Cascades. Kicking off our summer launch party, which is a free end of the school year event that kind of celebrates some of the programs that we'll be doing this summer with live music and food trucks. That'll be at Bryan Park. The Fair of the Arts starts in May through October, Saturdays at the Farmers Market run by Crystal Ritter continues to be successful and have lots of artists that want to come out from both local and regional. Performing Arts Series, excited to bring it back in 2024. We'll be doing concerts at People's Park. We have Shakespeare in the Park. Sundays at Bryan Park, 3 different concert series at Switchyard Park with our Friday night happy hours. We'll be partnering with Visit Bloomington again to offer 2 Thursday night concerts and then main stage concerts on Friday nights as well. In June, we have the escape room, as Bill just mentioned. Tara's doing new community Zoo by You programs, which highlight kids and fun facts about animals. And our adult field day is moving to June this year as well. July, Touch a Truck at both Winslow, and we'll be doing again a Touch a Truck at the fair event, 4th of July parade. And this year we'll do again a summer teen art lab for teens to learn and get together to do art and gather. Sorry. August and September, Drool in the Pool comes back again this year. We're adding a new VIP hour where guests can come early, have professional pictures taken of their dogs in the water, enjoy some experiences, benefits before the crowd comes. We're looking forward to having that experience. Junk in the Trunk also takes place in August. September kind of kicks off with our Glow Week. This will be our third year, I believe, for our Glow Week. We have the Splash and Glow at Switchyard Park, a scavenger hunt at Switchyard Park, and then the main event at Waldron Hill Buskirk on Saturday night. Hoping to throw in a little Lunar Links golf in there, but we're working on Jason about that to add to that week as well. Of course, Trick or Treat Trail at RCA Park continues to be a huge success and a great partnership with the students at BHSN, Bloomington North, and their theater program. They take on the characters along the trail, which has been a huge relief and great partnership on our part. October is busy. Pumpkin launch at the Monroe County Fairgrounds. Festival of Ghost Stories is actually at Bryan Park, and then the cemetery tours at Rose Hill. So those were two different events that got combined in one. Howl at the Moon, the Glow in the Dark Dog Walk, and then Skate and Scare at Frank Southern Ice Arena. Something every weekend in October. It's a busy month. Holiday Market will be back in November. Continues to just be a great experience with Santa. We had carriage rides last year. Food vendors, art vendors, roasting chestnuts, a great way to spend your Saturday the day after Thanksgiving. And we wrap up December with a partnership with Amy Shrake and Sensory Santa, the Santa Paws dog event at Switchyard Park, and of course, Skate with Santa at the Frank Southern Ice Arena. We will have some new events that we hope to throw in this fall as well. I just don't want to throw them out just yet. But I just want to thank the Recreation Services staff, and we're blessed to have people that are dedicated and creative, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions for Leslie?
So, yeah, thank you for, Leslie, thank you for the presentation and all the information. So the International Festival will be next week, right?
Yeah, it's this coming Sunday, April 28th from 1 to 4.
And remind me if we have live music this year. I'm seeing here the website. Do we have live performances?
At the International Festival or just in general? Yes, there is live performances at the International Festival. We have a hula dancer this year, the bagpipes, a couple other performers. We're excited about that. And then, of course, our performing arts series will take place as well.
Good stuff, thank you.
Thank you.
Practically every weekend, sounds like. Yeah.
It's a lot. There's a good thing there's a few of us. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Leslie. And then finally in D2, Tim will tell us about the park's strategic goals for 2024.
Yes, so this is a report only. No action is needed on this item. Again, I'm Tim Street. I'm the Parks Director for Bloomington Parks and Recreation. So a reminder to the board that our department sets goals based on a 5-year master plan cycle. That 5-year master plan is very common, very accepted. In fact, it's required by the state, DNR, to apply for grants, things like that. So that's a very common practice for Parks and Rec departments, both in Indiana and across the country. We are currently nearing the end of our cycle. So our current 5-year master plan is 2021 to 2025. So that does mean that later this year, we're going to start looking at how we build a new master plan process into our budget for 2025 and engage in that during the course of next year. The master plan we are currently working off of has these 4 main goals that we target. And those are to maintain and enhance the assets and natural resources of the department. It's the first one. The second one is to reinforce activities and programs to positively impact public health, sustainability, and climate action. The third one is prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the fourth one is develop administrative and staffing capacity. So our staff members, through the course of a master plan, work at various points to identify strategic goals that line up with these 4 master plan goals. And in the master plan, there are also sub-goals for each one. And that was the first part of the report that I attached to this. We just wanted, in talking with staff and deciding how we represent this, we decided that we would like to bring this to the park board a couple times a year and just present almost as a bit of a report card of what we're working on and what's happening in parks. This first time of the year, which will be sort of a, hey, here are our final goals for 2024. And I would invite us that we could engage with this. I can obviously answer questions today, or if we want to get more in depth with this, we could use some of our time at the upcoming work session to talk about some of these goals. And then we plan to present basically this same report again later in the year, potentially November or maybe December park board. I don't want to wait till January. We'll assess the best way to sort of update you on progress on these goals, which is also a way of reporting on that to the public. So in all, we set 115 strategic goals, which is a lot, but you got to remember that there's a lot of us too. So we don't want to have too many priorities, but across all of our different areas and operations, we really try to hone in on a few different SMART goals for each area to be targeting each year as it relates to the master plan. That quickly adds up to about 115. A lot of these are already in progress. A few of them were set and then changed because we did a round of budget cuts for this year's budget as well. Some of them relate to our Parks Master Plan, and some of them relate to broader city plans like the Climate Action Plan as well. So I really appreciate staff being diligent in setting these goals. We really try as much as possible to make them about quote unquote SMART goals, not just here's a goal of something we do every single year, year in, year out. We want to strive and target something that's different or unique or new that's helping us reach greater heights as it relates to our master plan. So again, just wanted to present these today. I'm happy to answer questions now, or we can also dive in deeper later. Yeah.
Any questions for Tim? Well, you can already, yes, develop a solar eclipse event can be checked off.
Check.
Check, yes. So, no, these look great. I mean, just all over the place in terms of all the different aspects of trees, playgrounds, participation.
Really get a sense of the broad scope of everything that our staff are touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything on here. So, great. Well, thank you for the information, and I think we'll probably have more questions later on when they come back around. So, all right, and then in our section E, we'd open it up to public comment if we have any, either online or in person. I know, I saw that.
If anyone online would like to make a comment, please raise your hand icon.
No? Okay, all right. Tim, any final comments from you?
I don't have any public comment either through email or channels or anything like that. I'll take advantage of a few minutes here at the end just to give a few updates on general things going on. Project-wise, we continue to work, anticipate having a final building trades master plan to share soon. The Bryan Park Playground, you can see a lot of progress if you go by on Henderson Street. It's really coming together. We hope to ribbon cut that probably in early June. And Hopewell Commons, if you happen to be at the Seminary Kroger and you look west, you can really start to see the shape of what will be our next park taking place there. We anticipate opening that this fall. Staff-wise, I'm happy to announce that Chris Hamrick has accepted the position, I'm going to get the title wrong, Keto, Sports Facility Manager. sports facility program manager. He was our specialist at Frank Southern Arena previously, and he has now accepted what was Dee's position, so overseeing both the pools and Frank Southern Center. Jim, I know you'd asked a question last meeting about our policy manual online. I want to thank Leslie and Julie for working on that. It is online now. If you go to the page that has our mission, vision, values, it also links to some of our public-facing values, or excuse me, our public-facing policies. And we'll continue to work on how that's presented on the website, but it is up there now. And then, of course, great time to segue from Leslie's great presentation and just say, yeah, I mean, we so immensely proud of our staff and the way we represented Bloomington on Eclipse Day. It maybe wasn't the apocalyptic crowds that were predicted, but it was still a lot of people, 8,000 people in Switchyard Park. We just found out the other day that the trail counter on the Beeline that the engineering department manages registered the highest ever count for the Beeline since it was installed in 2017 of about 2,800 people. That's up by the convention center, so we know that's a fraction of the people that were actually using it that day too. It was a very cool, very fun day, and I just want to especially recognize the staff that worked. We had an Eclipse action team that was working from January on to line everything up, and of course all the staff who were out there the day of representing our city to people from, gosh, I don't even know, at least 25 to 30 states that we heard from. I know we had someone from China at Griffey Lake. I heard there was someone from London as well. So a lot of people came to Bloomington for this.
Wasn't the Beeline also named as like one of the top trails
It
in the
was.
country
There
by
was.
some national
I can't say I have a lot of
organization?
details on that. Julie Ramey would have more, but there was a USA Today poll online vote thing, and the Beeline was mentioned as one of the top 10.
Nice.
And then just upcoming events, Leslie kind of touched on them. We've got an Arbor Day event this Friday at Crestmont Park, celebrating the city's 40th year as Tree City USA. We'll be planting trees at Crestmont Park. Then the Children's Expo and International Festival are Saturday, Sunday this weekend. May 2nd, we're going to be doing a dedication of the rail trail spur that's connecting to the new Southern Meadows development at Rogers and that road. And then just a little farther out is the 50 Plus Expo on May 8th. So our staff are very busy working on all those. Our next meeting is May 21st, Board of Park Commissioners regular meeting, 4 p.m. this room. And then our work session is scheduled on June 4th at 4 p.m. Those are our upcoming meetings.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. And with that, I'll adjourn the April meeting of the Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners.